lowest month is like 8,400. Dang, that's not really good.
How did you originally get into the TikTok shop side of things?
I really started seeing people making money, and I was like, I can do this. And then that first month in January, I did $5,400. And so I was like, okay, let's do it again. Then my third month is when it blew up. I did $23,000 in 1 month. There were days where I was like, I just don't want to do this anymore. I just need to go get a real job. My lowest month is like 8,400 aside from like my first month ever. And I was like, dang, that's not really good. And my friend was like, are you kidding me? People would die to make $8,400 a month.
Welcome back to another episode of the Social Army podcast. My name is Bryce and I am your host. And today I have a very special guest with us, somebody who's been with us since the very beginning and who was actually the first female coach inside Social Army, who kind of helped me kickstart everything in the very beginning and get all these people excited to be a part of us. And she's done phenomenal for herself in terms of sales on TikTok and really has not let up through some of the struggles that she's been through over the past couple of months. So definitely going to be a great episode today. And without any further delay, I would love to introduce her. And a lot of you guys may know her as Revive Tribe, but this is Ashley, everybody. Ashley, if you would.
Yeah, how are you guys doing? And Bryce, it's been so long since I've seen you. I feel like we talked every single day in the beginning when we first started, doing the Social Army thing, and then it just kind of blew up. It's wild. It's wild. I've done Social Army now. I think I've been with you guys. It's been a while, right? Like,
you've been with us since April, I think.
March or April.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's been a while. And then I've been doing full time. I've done TikTok for about a year. So January 1st will be a year when I started taking it seriously. And so it's been a wild ride. It's been crazy. I just hit like $1 million in GMV like last month. So
that's insane. $1 million in less than a year's time is absolutely insane.
It's nuts.
That's really good. What did you do before? What did you do before TikTok itself? I knew you were in some sort of like a resale business, right?
Yeah. So I did. I still do it.
Awesome.
Multiple revenue streams, but I have an online consignment business. So we specialize in mid-range to high-end designer, and we sell all online. So I do that as well, but that's more like I have people that are kind of just running that, and I've really come. March is when I really took my focus and was like, all right, we need to put all of these ideas and all of this work into TikTok and really like hit this hard. And then I kind of just stepped away from that and kind of just have people running that, which has been good.
That's good. So you were able to automate that and put all your focus into TikTok.
Correct.
That's awesome. That is something that's not very easy to do, especially with a business of that nature, and being able to automate that to put your focus right, and being able to automate that and put all your focus into the explosive growth that is TikTok is an amazing thing. How did you originally get into the TikTok shop side of things? I mean, you've been doing it since January, so you obviously heard of it at some point.
So I actually did it before January. So I would say like 3 months before January, I had just done one video and I was like, oh, I can do this. This is cool, whatever. Sure. I was already doing Amazon reviews at that point. And because I had already done online sales, selling live in a live platform, clothing on an app, I would do 3 shows a week. So I was already very familiar with being on the camera because I had been a content creator for it's been like 15 years. I was a YouTuber in 2010. So it's kind of just one of those things that was very easy, and I tried it and I made like $20 and I was like, okay. So that come January, I really started seeing people making money and I was like, I can do this. And then that first month in January, I'm looking at my numbers. I did $5,400 in my first like real month of trying it. I think I did maybe 4 or 5 products that month. And so I was like, okay, let's do it again. 6,400. Then my third month is when it blew up and we did almost $23,000. I did $23,000 in 1 month in take.
And that's that's in commission. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that was you still juggling the other business too alongside, right? Before you were able to outsource or at least automate it.
Yeah. And then during all of that, my house was destroyed in a hurricane. I was living in an RV.
Oh my God, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. That is insane. Yeah.
So a lot of those earlier videos were all done like in the RV or in like a destroyed house. So we just found really cool backgrounds. So if you don't think you can do it, you can. Just find a cool stark white background somewhere and just film.
That is no bullshit. Yeah, no, that is 100% true. You can just walk around on the sidewalk outside and film your content and it'll do well. Yeah, that's one of the craziest things too, is the movement is really what gets people going.
Yeah. And it just takes it. My whole thing is when I see people doing really well and I see people like crushing it, and we have people in social army that will do $100,000 in 1 month. And
Yes.
to me, I'm like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. That just means
Yep.
there's no ceiling. That just means I
Right.
can do it. So when you see people, some people will get discouraged when they see that and they're like, that can never happen for me. To me, I'm like, I have no ceiling. I have no
Right.
limitations. We're gonna do it.
Right. Right. No, 1,000%. And you're 100% right. There is really no ceiling for this. I've seen people make as much as $200,000 in commission in a single month's time. It's crazy what this opportunity, what this app, what TikTok can do for people, as long as they're willing. Yeah, as long as they're willing to put themselves in somewhat of a slightly uncomfortable position and learn something new. This can take you to areas that you didn't even know were possible to reach.
100%.
It's crazy, and it does it for just everyday, ordinary people. All you have to do is talk about the experience that you have with these products, and 9 times out of 10, you're not the only one out there who's experienced it. People are going to relate to you. Therefore, people are going to buy from you. It's just how it works. That's why I love this, because anybody can do it.
Right. And I also think people want connection like this.
Yep.
A lot of us don't really go hang out. We're not hanging out like we used to before the internet. And
Nope.
so when you're recommending a product, you're more likely to connect with somebody because you're recommending something and buying it from somebody recommending it than just blindly buying it. There's been many times where I've seen other creators in Social Army like have, like Rad Dad. He has like these stupid headphones sometimes. And I'm like, I want those. And then I go get them because like I genuinely wanted those and I wouldn't have known they existed.
It's funny that you said that. Because of his video, I went and got the same headphones you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's hilarious. I just had them on my desk. Are you talking about the light up ones, right? The ones that have, yes. I got to make a video on those still, but that's hilarious. Yeah. And you're 100% right, because you see these regular people recommending these products, and it's just cool to see. It's not some high end brand spending millions of dollars on some crazy advertisement that does not coincide with everyday people. It's just, there's something about just these regular individuals promoting these products in a way that makes them feel, oh shit, if he likes it, I might like it myself. That's why relatability is so big. It's massive. So that's awesome.
It's cool too, because I feel like I was very alone when I first started the affiliate marketing. Like when I first started it, none of us really knew anything. And there wasn't really a whole lot of community at that point for us to kind of come together and be like, let's put our brains together. How do we maximize this? How do we not exploit it, but how do we make this work for all of us? And so it was really cool, because once I joined Social Army, obviously there wasn't very many members. At that point, I think we had maybe 250 members when I joined. And so you and I very much were in lots of meetings and like, with the crew and the behind the scenes people. And then it just kind of blew up. And I think my brain in like a 2-month span, having all of those creators in one section to be able to be like, this is what's working for me. This is what I've learned. Don't do this. Like my knowledge expansion was incredible from what I learned from having a group of people who were doing exactly what I was doing with the same exact goal.
100%.
It changed the game.
100%. And you're right. There weren't a whole lot of communities out there. And the ones that were more on that, cowboy style grind, for lack of a better term, just trying to push everything and anything out there that would work and convert into sales, which short term, sure, can bring you a lot of income, but long term does not provide any sort of sustainability, because at the end of the day, you're burning through accounts, violation after violation after violation. You're not really learning how to properly survive on this platform called TikTok Shop, which is very volatile all on its own.
TikTok is very famine and feast, I've learned.
Yes. Yes, I've gone through many accounts myself, and it's
such a wild ride to make like $22,000 a month, and then you go to like, and we were just talking about this, my lowest month is like 8,400 aside from like my first month ever, and I was like, dang, that's not really good. And my friend was like, are you kidding me? People would die to make $8,400 a month with the time that you're putting in. Like you're just at the pool 3 days in a row, and I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. You were just in New York last week, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Like, I'm maybe putting in, and it's hard work. Anybody who's doing this full time, it's the easiest job I've ever had, but it's also the most thought out job. Like it never stops. I'll be driving. I'm like, that's a great hook. Let me write it down. I'll be in bed. There's a notebook by my bed. That's a great hook. Let me write that down. Like it doesn't stop when you are doing this full time.
No, you live, eat, breathe, and sleep it. I mean, I dream about it sometimes. It's like when I was in the car business, I was obsessed. I became obsessed with it because I wanted to be the best. Yeah. I wanted to be the best salesman, best, whatever I could be. Mm-hmm. And I would eat, sleep, and drink everything car business. I would close people in my dreams and wake up telling them, "Hey, sorry, my boss can't do this payment, but we can do this instead." My wife would be like, "What are you doing?" But it's the obsession that makes this so mentally draining and exhausting because your brain is wired to just think about it 24/7, which 100%. Can be a good thing. But at the end of the day, if you don't know how to pull yourself back and separate yourself from that, can also be a very bad thing because it can drain you out mentally when things don't work. I'm 100%. Sure there's been plenty of times where you've had these amazing thought out ideas and videos and you've put them into play and the video just flops. It does nothing.
Yeah. And what's funny is my most viral video to date was one I wasn't going to post. It was me, no makeup on, in a t-shirt, unproduced. It's sitting at like 6 million views right now. Yep. And it's like laundry detergent.
Yep.
And I'm just talking about laundry detergent with my phone like this. And I'm like, overnight, it just like blew up. And I was like, how is this even possible? I wasn't even going to post that stupid video. I was leaving to go get my kids from school. And by the time I got home, it was sitting at like 20,000 views in like an hour. And I was like, here we go. Let's rock.
This is where the regular people side of things really goes into play because you, just like you said, it was a video you weren't going to post because of your more or less your appearance in that factor, right? You didn't put on any makeup. You were wearing just a regular shirt, just being you, but it's the authenticity that bred those views and those sales because it was 100%. A real person being relatable in every way possible in just a regular everyday position. Again, I think that's why this is so important to put so much emphasis on don't try too hard when creating these videos. Because yes, putting together a production style video and making, all these transitions, all these cuts, all these, cool camera angles, that's cool, but it's not real. It's not authentic. It's not a true experience being shared with the person watching the video. And I cannot harp on that enough. I try to make everything I possibly can on just this.
Yeah.
Very seldomly do I use my high-end fancy camera or my equipment here unless it calls for that style of video to be made. Right. 9 times out of 10, I'm using a phone and I'm getting up out of bed or I'm done with the kids and I'm going out and filming a video with the 10 minutes time that I have to spare.
Yeah, it's wild because I will say, like, there have been high production videos. Like, for example, I did these binoculars and I was like, I'm going to do all of these really funny clips. So I'm going to like be in a really high-end dress and do like cartwheels in my front yard. My neighbors thought I was a lunatic and that video flopped. And I spent hours coming up with ideas for that stupid video. And then all of my best videos are just me kind of just like talking as if I'm on FaceTime with my friend. And those are the ones that do the best. And I remember I just called you, I think sometime in May or June. And I was like, Bryce, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Something's not happening. You're like, go back to the basics. Go back to where you were just you. And I was like, okay. Yep. And then I did it. I think I did it that day. I posted it and it hit like 10K views. And I was like, he was right.
Yep. I remember that. I remember when you called me on that because you were flipping out. Like, I can't get anything to pop.
Yeah.
I told you, incorporate movement. Start walking around and act like you're on FaceTime with your friend. Yeah. That is the best thing to do. And that's all it is. You can't get away from that because that works time and time again.
Yeah.
There's certain products that I'll do a high-end style review on, but it's those products that require that, right? It's a totally 100%. Different style of setting, like
it's
tech
like read
products.
The room.
Right. Like tech products, I'll do that with. Keyboards, I'll do that with. PC components, I'll do that with. However, you give me something like this here, I
want one so bad.
I love this thing.
I want that thing so bad.
I'm definitely just going to make the coolest video I possibly can with this with just my phone. And I'm going to put it in a good setting. But other things, it's definitely you got to pick and choose which ones you do the high production style videos on.
Like what is the clientele? And I think the reason that laundry detergent video did so well is because I was a mom. I'm going to pick up my children from school. I'm walking around my house barefoot. Like, it was so relatable to other moms that they were like, I want that laundry detergent too. So yeah, I think there's a time and place for certain production. And when you're picking your products, paying attention to who's buying that and keep that in mind when you're doing those videos for sure.
I agree. I agree, 1,000%. It's the relatability is key. It always has been. I preached that since the very beginning. Once I figured it out, it's always that. So I have a question for you. Outside of Social Army and things of that nature, what other sort of like training and resources have you been able to put into play for yourself to be as successful in TikTok Shop as you have been? Because like you say, you average at least $15,000 to $20,000 a month. On a bad month, $8K, which is crazy to say. A bad month is still $8,000.
Yeah.
But you've been in the game a long time. I mean, has there been any other things that you've been able to utilize?
Yeah, so I went to college, college dropout, but I did go for marketing and sales, and I've done high end sales for a really long time. So I also went to school for negotiation and body language and things like that. So I have an extensive sales background, but also I've been a content creator for a really long time. Like I started content creation in like 2008. I was a senior in high school, and back then that really wasn't a thing. But there was like some small ones on MySpace, and I was like, I want to do that. And for years, like until it took me like I'm not joking. Like I finally feel like I'm where I've always thought I was going to be on social media, and I'm there. And now I'm like, I'm here. Now what? But for a long time, a lot of people were like, "You're crazy. You're never going to do this. You're never going to be that." And then now I've got, I think it's like 250,000 followers between all of my social medias. And to me, I'm like, I never would have thought. But I think also like being able to know what sells and what doesn't sell, and just kind of having a small sales background. Now, and I don't think that's necessarily helpful for everybody. I think some people, it's common sense. When you're doing affiliate marketing, it's really not that hard. The hardest part is if you're not comfortable behind a camera. That's going to be the hardest part for somebody to just get started. And I think once you kind of just start and do it, you kind of get out of your own way. But I think anybody can do it. I don't think that there's extensive knowledge to try and do this, because we have people who are high school dropouts crushing it. We have people who are college. I know, that's why I said it. We have people who are like college master degree people and are very analytical, and they're crushing it. And so I think really just finding what works for you and what makes you comfortable, that authenticity is going to show through in your videos. And when you are uncomfortable or when you're doing something that's out of your realm, you can see that. And anybody, we're smart consumers. We're enough on the internet now where you can see when people aren't authentic, or when, immediately you'll see a video and you're like, next, that's crap. But I think just do it. I don't really think that there's any like experience that I've had that like, I'm a doer. Like, we're just going to do it. Hell or high water. We're doing it. There's no excuse.
The best way to learn how to do something is to just start doing it. You're not going to be an expert on day one. Hell, you won't be an expert after day 30. Those are all learning experiences that you have to go through. I mean, you go to school for 12 years to learn all those topics that are in school, right? At the end of the day, some of us don't make it to that 12-year mark, but you still have to go to school to learn these things. You don't learn how to write within the first year of school and be perfect at writing. I went to school for 10 years and I still don't have perfect handwriting, but it's one of those things that if I practiced every single day, my handwriting will improve. Right. Same goes for videos. Same goes for talking to the camera. Same goes for creating hooks.
Social Army. That is why I joined Social Army. Even though I had a good month, I was like, there's still so much for me to learn. I'm only 3 months into this. And like, the only way I'm going to get better is by seeing people who are doing exactly what I'm doing, but better than me. Yes. I want to talk to the people who are doing better than me. I want to talk to the person, because I'm not going to go ask a homeless person for financial advice. That's just that's not logical. I'm going to go talk to the people who are doing it. And so that's why 100%. I was like, let me get into this Social Army thing. Let's join forces. Let's do this. And then everything that I had learned up to that point, I was like, how do I help? How do I contribute to the community and give something that is going to give back so people can do exactly what I'm doing? Like, as a 100%. Single mom, I wasn't a single mom when I started this, but I am now. And so much of my life has changed in the last year. And if it wasn't for Social Army, I don't think I would be having those $15,000 months on average, because I wouldn't have had the knowledge to do so.
And being able to persevere through everything that's been going on too is a whole nother thing as well, because without the push during a lot of those times, I don't think that it would have kept up on your end either. There's a lot of things that going through everything you went through was kind of tough. And at the end of the day, you still went live.
Was really tough.
Right. You still went live. You were still making videos.
Right. It's been a really hard year. And I really do think there was a lot of days where I was like, I just want to give up. And if it wasn't for the team at Social Army, and granted, because I was one of the first ones, I have very like in-depth friendships with all of you, you know, and so I was very vulnerable with you. And I do think you guys constantly being like, are you good? Are you good? Do you need anything? Can we help you? Like, what are you doing for your videos? Like, you guys really like weren't on me and pushing me, but you definitely helped me show up when I couldn't show up for myself. So I'm forever grateful for that, because there were days where I was like, I just don't want to do this anymore. I just need to go get a real job. And then you guys would be like, what are you doing today? And I'm like, okay, I'll make a video.
Yeah, once you do this, I think going back to a real job, you know, and especially being more or less self-employed in the way that you have been for as long as you have been, it's tough to do. And now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing against going and getting a 9-to-5. There's nothing against having a real job. But at the end of the day, when you get so used to living in this type of a lifestyle where content is your job, it's hard to go back, because you understand what the possibilities are from this and what it can truly provide. This provided a lifestyle.
Can you imagine pulling in and somebody being like, why are you late? I'm gonna be like, sir, I did not answer to you.
I was working a job for 10 years and I couldn't even deal with that. You know,
like, I could not.
My life is my life. You don't own me. I work for you, sure. But I work to earn an income, to earn a living, to live my life. You're not going to control my every move. That was my biggest thing. And it wasn't that I had a problem with authority. It was the fact that I had a problem with somebody thinking that they could dictate my every single move inside and outside of my clock in times. Yeah. That's what pissed me off more than anything else. I couldn't deal with it. And if I have something I got to go do, guess what? I'm going to go fucking do it. You're not going to tell me no. 100%. You tell me no, I will walk out.
And my thing too is like, I'm not going to get paid to make somebody else's dream come true.
No,
I don't get paid to make somebody else rich. Like, I don't want to do it. And so I very much, that's why I started the consignment business. I've been doing that 10 years. Like, I have been my own boss physically though for 7 years. Yeah, 7 years it's been. And so to think that I'd have to get up on somebody else's schedule like that, it like gives me anxiety.
You're telling me. When the day I quit my job was the most invigorating day of my life. You know, I loved it. And I quit it for something that I was actually going to enjoy. I've quit my job before. You know, I quit my job to go build wind turbines. That was cool. That wasn't really, I didn't really consider that one much of a hatred, because that was a fun experience, being able to go out and do that kind of stuff. Cool. Right. That was fun. And then once we got laid off from that, I went and opened up a dispensary. And I thought that was going to be my end all be all. That was going to be fun, right? But at the end of the day, I was still conforming to partners, and I was still conforming to state laws, regulations, and things of this nature, and it just made things really, really difficult. So when that endeavor was over,
I worked in the electronic cigarette industry when it first started. So I've been in that industry with like the FDA and things like that.
Man, there's so much stuff you got to look out for, and they're always over your shoulder too. And even if you are the cleanest of the clean, they're still over your shoulder, and it just makes things, you know, like, what am I doing wrong? Are you about to come in and shut me down? What's going on? You know, it was so stressful. But getting away from that and then going back into the car business, it was kind of like a backtrack. But I think getting back into the car business for that final straw was this isn't what you want to do.
Wasn't your most viral video while you were at work?
It was. Actually, three of my most viral videos were while I was at work. The Bubble Blaster, which did 8 million views.
The headphones.
Yeah, the headphones, which did 20 million views. And then there was a light that I had. It did like just over 1 million views or 2 million views, something like that. But 3 videos inside my office while I was a finance manager at work on my way to quitting my job. Now, bear in mind, these are all within a 3-week period as well, which is even crazier.
That month for you was wild, because it was like
insane.
Boom, boom,
yeah,
boom,
I did like 130 grand.
It just blew up. It was nuts.
Yeah, it was wild. But that was when also, too, my boss was like, hey, I hear you're making all this money on TikTok. And I was like, yeah, about that. He goes, so when am I going to lose you? I'm done after today. It's my last day. So it was rough. Because, you know, I liked my boss. We were kind of, you know, we were on a friendly level. I worked with the dude for a long time. So we were on kind of like a friendly level. But it was one of those things where like he wasn't the boss, right? He ran the dealership, but he wasn't the top guy. So it was nice being able to just leave all that behind. It felt so good.
Oh, for sure. It's invigorating, because when you're working out of survival, it's different. Because people don't quit jobs, they quit bosses. And that's something that I preach a lot, like when I'm coaching and things like that. And so my whole thing is like, when you're working out of survival or working out of choice, there's a different mindset that happens with those two things. When you're working out of choice, you're excited. You're creating videos. Like, we're going to use the TikTok, for example, here.
Sure.
Like, when you're working out of like choice, it's like you're excited to wake up. You're ready to start the day. You're coming up with new ideas. You're building your brand. You're building you. But when you're working out of survival, it's, I got to show up no matter what. I don't want to show up, but I got to. And it sucks the life out of you.
It does.
So I
It
love
does.
when people are like, I quit my job for TikTok. I'm like, you freaking did. You go.
Mm-hmm. Now you're going to do something you enjoy, and you're actually going to start to see the fruits of your labor come to life.
Yeah.
Like, that is literally it. It's the best thing in the world, and I love seeing it.
Yeah,
So,
it's the best.
A couple of questions for you in regards to picking products.
Okay.
What are some of your favorite ways to find products, or what are some of your favorite products to promote?
So because I was in fashion, because I have the consignment, clothing for me was always kind of a go-to because it's easy, it's fast, and a girl, if it's under $20, probably doesn't have she won't even think to just get it if it's under $20 typically. So clothing for me is very easy because it's stuff that I'm going to wear anyways, but it's also very easy because it's relatable. So clothing is really easy for me to do just because that's my go-to. But I'm also really, I get really excited to go out of my comfort zone and do things like electronics, like headphones or, like gimbals or tripods and things because it's things that I'm using. But I don't necessarily know anything about. And it comes across more authentic because I genuinely don't know a lot about those products. And when I'm reviewing them, it's like authentic. Like my reaction to things and my unboxing of those things is very truthful.
Right.
So like sometimes in my video, I'm like, this sucks. But I also pay attention very closely to seller rating recently because now we are getting rated on in TikTok. And I don't know how long this will last, but we're getting rated on our product placement score, like what that score is. And so now I'm a little more mindful of like what the reviews are on for that seller. And then I'm also very open into making sure that the product had some sort of sales. Because although I'm okay with making a product go viral, I don't want to take that chance every single video. I need something that already has traction so that I can get kicked in that algorithm and just be a part of it. I don't want to reinvent the wheel.
Sure. Oh my gosh, we've talked about reinventing the wheel so much recently. Find something that works. Don't try to be the one to set the trend. Like if you can set trends, set trends. But if that's something you can do, if you're not doing it all the time, find the product that already has traction. It's a lot easier to continue to go viral, piggybacking off of the virality of the product itself, rather than trying to find an angle to make the product viral.
Sure. And I will say, if I'm having a really slow month, I will go back to the products that did really well for me or that have already gone viral for me, and I'll make another video. Because I'm trying to just capture that spread. Like at that point when I'm freaking out and I'm like, I'm not where I need to be this month. What do I need to do to get there? And what worked for me in the past? I'm going back. I'm grabbing those products and I'll crank out 2 or 3 of those videos and post them, every couple days just to try and get a quick hit of some money coming in.
Yep. 100%. And it's worth doing too, because especially if they're continuously going viral or they're an evergreen product instead of a seasonal or a niche style product, you can catch that viral train over and over and over again. Somebody who did really, really good at that was a guy named Farmer Boy Josh. I think you know who that is, right?
Yeah.
He the vitamin D3K2 went viral with that product probably 30 times over. Because all he did was rinse and repeat the success. Crushing it. All he did was rinse and repeat the success that he had on it. And not just on one account, but on multiple different accounts.
He had like 5.
And all he did was piggyback.
He had like a really big high-end corporate job, right? And then I remember
he finally quit too. Crazy.
So he was talking about quitting for a really long time. And then all of a sudden he like posted in our group, he's like, I bought a Rolex. And we were like, heck yeah, you did.
Yeah, he's hilarious, man. Josh is good. He actually called me when I was down in Dallas. Because now he's still doing supplements, but he's finding virality all over again. It's just insane to see.
It just constantly changes.
Yeah,
it really does. You just got a house. You just got a house because of TikTok, right? Like you just moved.
Yep, we moved into a larger house, a nicer house because of TikTok. Didn't you just say off screen too? Didn't you just tell me you bought a car?
Yeah, like 5 days ago.
What'd you buy?
Lexus, a brand new Lexus. An NX 350 sport model with like black and red interior.
Oh, that red is probably so nice. Is it like a deep red or a race, like a fire truck red?
It's like a fire truck red inside.
Yeah,
nice. And it's got like black and white. It's so nice. Nice. It's like a dream car. And it's wild because like I traded in like my old dream car. Like I worked so hard for that other car, traded it in. And then it was red. And then I was like, I'm never going to drive a red car again. So I did get it silver, but the interior is red. So it's
right. You got to have some flair. That's hilarious. Well, that's good. And that's crazy that this can do this for you as well without even batting an eye, being able to go out
to the dealership for the first time in my life ever without a cosigner, without my mom and dad, without my ex-husband. Like I did it by myself. I was
That's
able
gotta
to
feel
walk
good.
in with good credit, with cash, and be like, here, I'm doing it. And I did it
Mm-hmm.
all alone. And it's only because of TikTok.
Yeah, that's got to feel good. That's got to feel real good. Yeah. I can't wait to use my skills of being in the car business for over a decade
I
to
should have called
go.
you. And I'm like,
It's okay.
Bryce, help me. I should have
It's
called
okay.
you. Why didn't I do that?
Most people forget because I don't talk about it much anymore.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. I should have called you, but like, can you help a sister out? How do I negotiate this?
Lexus is usually pretty good. A lot of these dealers now,
they were really good to me.
A lot of these dealers nowadays, you know, except for your smaller brands, they're not out to make $10,000-$15,000 off these sales anymore, because a lot of banks won't give you the carry. A lot of banks won't give you the amount to fund or to even finance on a large loan over loan to value ratio. So a lot of them don't try to take full advantage, though you still have these nasty dealers out there that will. Don't get me wrong. That's the main reason why I left the business. Yeah. It's the main reason I left the business is because of how grimy it can be. But yeah, I can't wait to utilize my skills at the next dealership I go to just to see how good of a deal I can get from these guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. At the end, tell them like, yeah, I did this for too long. But the car business is a wild,
it's a wild beast.
Business. It is.
I always say if TikTok fails, I'm going in car sales.
Yeah, and you'd be damn good at it. You'd be
I'm
damn
just gonna
good
go
at
car sales, but I'm gonna like go to like Porsche or Ferrari or something and just go crazy on it.
Yeah, I always wanted to sell at a high end dealer. I do know that they do have. I don't know if it's Mercedes, but you have to have a good credit score to sell these high end vehicles because they want people who represent.
Mercedes before that, and there is some. I don't know if that's like a thing that applies anymore. That you have to have good credit to sell it, because like I think if you have good credit, you probably. I don't know. I just feel like if you have really good credit, you're probably not going to do car sales. Is that a weird thing to say?
There's some. You'd be very surprised. High-end car dealership salesmen make good money, as well as the GSMs and the GMs.
That is true.
A lot of the the reason I tried to climb the ranks in the car business is because as a finance manager, you have the potential to make anywhere from like $130,000 to $250,000 a year. So like the money in the car business is phenomenal. I know plenty of salesmen who make $30,000-$40,000 a month in the Dallas metro area. But you're right. I mean, it is one of those things. A lot of car sales guys also, we like to think we can manage money well, but we're really bad at it sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I like to think I manage money really well, and then I go and buy a brand new car. So clearly.
It happens. It happens. You know, temptations.
I saw it. I went there to go get a 4Runner. I was at Toyota. I went to go get a 4Runner.
And you bought a Lexus.
Kids. I was trying to be a mom, and I was like, we're going to trade the Benz in. We'll get a 4Runner. We'll be a smart mom. And I was like, I can't do it. And I saw that Lexus. It was unlocked. I sat and I said, I'm getting this one. And I walked out with that car.
If I might say, you're not a 4Runner type of person, though. I cannot see you driving a 4Runner.
I was going to get it lifted.
Still, I can't see you. I can see you driving a truck over a 4Runner. 4Runners, there's a type of person who drives a 4Runner, and you're not that type of person.
I don't think I am.
Can't see it. No.
Yeah, I'm not. I need a little glitz and glam. Just a little.
Yeah. They're nice cars. I personally can't drive a 4Runner either. I got too many damn kids. I got to have at least a minivan.
Bus.
I know.
You need like a limo.
I know.
The Bryce Social Army limo.
Get it wrapped. That'd be funny. Yeah, we need a bigger vehicle. I think I'm going to buy my wife a Grand Wagoneer here pretty soon, because she
I just
really,
was in
really
one of
wants
those. One of my really good friends in Syracuse has that, and it's really nice.
They're nice. When they came out, she became obsessed. So I definitely, unless the Durango comes with a matching body style, it'll be a Grand Wagoneer that I buy her.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
So a few more questions for you in regard to like engagement. What is your favorite style of video, or do you prefer lives over video? And how do you get as much engagement as you do? Because your videos do really, really well sometimes.
Honestly, I hate to say it, but I think it's luck. I don't think I have a choice on what creates engagement. However, I will say my posting times, there's a significant difference in views during certain posting times. So like I post anywhere between 3 and 5 videos a day. Okay. And I do notice that my morning videos don't really hit. Okay. However, after 5 o'clock, they skyrocket. But I also notice if I post a video at 11 o'clock at night, right before I go to bed, it like for some reason initially, I don't know if it's because more people are on the app on West Coast and East Coast time, but that video will skyrocket within the first hour. So like my day videos will sit at 200 all day, But then like my afternoon videos or my evening videos, that 11 p.m. video, for some reason I'll hit 700 in like an hour. So it's weird. I really think that posting times and when people are most active on the app. So when you're posting, most people are working 9 to 5. So you have to take into consideration East Coast time, West Coast time. And this worked very well when I did online sales as well. And when I went live doing the online sales, I didn't want to go live when people are at work. People can't engage with me when they're at work. They're working. So most people who are doing a 9 to 5, if you're posting after 5 or you're posting before 9, you're hitting them before they go to work and you're hitting them after they get out. But you don't want to hit them in between when they're making dinner and they're sitting with their family. You want to hit them at that 8 o'clock time when they're sitting down on the couch and they're doom scrolling. Mm-hmm. So in my head, I try to meticulously post when people are getting on and off work.
Interesting. Yeah. So I used to follow suit to that when I first started posting. Mm-hmm. But then TikTok got all wonky on me. But you're not the first person that's been telling me this recently, that posting times are having more of an effect now than like they used to in the beginning. Because in the beginning, I used to hawk my analytics. I would look at all of them. And I would only post during the time that my followers were most active, because what that means is that the time, even though videos aren't being posted to my followers, that's when my videos hit the For You page and do the best. And that's when people start to follow me. So when those most active times, when my followers are most active is also the time when my For You page is most active. So I used to really stick to only posting around that time. And I thought it made a huge difference because I would get thousands of views on my videos. Then I started just posting whenever. And if the video was good, it was good. It would gain traction. Sure. But now you're like the second or third person to kind of confirm that posting times are starting to be a thing again. So I'm wondering if TikTok is changing.
I think TikTok is continuously changing.
Right.
They're continuously changing what they are expecting of creators, and not necessarily always coming out and being like, this is what we want from you. And we've seen that time and time again from them. Yeah. And that's fine. And that's why we have groups like Social Army, where we can kind of put our brains together and be like, this is working and this isn't. And we kind of figure out the trend. But I will say, back in the day, and there's some truth to what you're saying too, is like, if a video is good, it's going to be good. It doesn't matter what time you post it. It's going to hit. But I mean, and you know this too, is like, we could post a video 3 weeks ago and it's got nothing. And then all of a sudden it blows up. Like, I have a video from like 7 weeks ago, a deodorant video that did crap. I didn't sell anything. All of a sudden, in the last 2 weeks, it's blowing up. It just hit 100,000 views for no reason. I've sold like 120 bottles this week. Yeah. Like, there's no rhyme or reason for that. I posted that video 6 weeks ago. Yep. So, yeah, it's weird. But I will say, views don't matter so much to me as sales. Like, I don't care how many views it's got. I want sales. 100%. So you could give me 1 million views all day long, but if it's not converting, I'd rather have a 200 view video that sold 70 products than 1 million viewed video that has sold 10.
Right. And more that's happening too. I mean, I've got a couple of viral videos right now that are in the hundreds of thousands of views. One of them's close to 1 million. No sales. Like, it's weird. But it's one of those things where if I was chasing views, I would be chasing views on my personal page where I want the exposure. I'm not chasing views on my shop page. I'm chasing sales. Like you said, I'd rather have a video at 100,000 views convert at 1,000 sales versus a video at 1 million views convert at 100 sales. It doesn't make any sense. I don't care about the views. I care about the sales and the quality of the viewers.
And I think that the views are great for like morale. Don't get me wrong. We all get excited when our video hits 500,000 views, and then when it hits 6 and 7 and 8, and that's great for morale. But at the end of the day, like, I want my number. I want to make over $8,500 a month. Okay. Right. So I don't care about the views at this point. Like,
well, that morale goes down when you give me 1 million views with no sales. Fuck the morale. That's out the window, you know?
Right.
Like, right. If anything, that makes me more mad.
Yeah, because I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, 100%. Like, why am I getting views but no sales? Is TikTok robbing me? What the heck is happening?
Right. Am I being throttled? Like, is the link not working? Did it get pulled? Like, and so many times, like, you'll get the notification, like, item went out of stock. And you're like, all right, well, when's that item coming back into stock? Because my video is now going viral as soon as it went out of stock.
Right. And so I will say, one of my favorite things about TikTok and how this works is if a product does go out of stock, as soon as it comes back in stock, 9 times out of 10, your video turns on like a light switch.
Oh, for sure.
And it goes right back to where it was at.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't, depending on how long the product's out of stock for. But I've had like the Bubble Blaster, for example. I sold so many of them that TikTok put them on a 200 a day limit. So every day,
laundry detergent.
Yeah. Every day they would
for weeks.
Right, until they've lifted it. But every day I'd hit their 200 order limit, video would shut off, I would stop getting views, and then as soon as the next day hit,
around 10:30 in the morning.
What, that I would sell them out, or that it would just depending
was my cutoff, and I would know my sales would just halt.
Just halt, stop for the whole day. Yeah, you'd be like,
damn. That sucks. I'm at $2,300 today. Why did it stop?
Yep, and you'd see it just stay at that all day long. It sucked, but once the next day would hit and the limit would lift, my video would turn on like a light switch, and it would go crazy again. So that is one thing I do like about TikTok in that sense, is that even if it does go out of stock, the opportunity for it to turn back on is always way up.
Yeah, for sure.
Always way up.
I'm excited for my next viral video. I need a video to hit. I feel like I get at least one every month, even if it's just like a little baby hit. And I'm like, okay, I can deal with that. But like, I am ready, and I'm manifesting it right now. I'm going to manifest it with you, that like we both, by the end of this month, are going to have a video that just hits both of us. Or I'm going to sprinkle that to you.
We need it. November's coming up, though. What are you doing for Q4?
Excited.
What are you preparing for?
It's going to be nuts. So I am focusing on kids' toys right now, because no parent is going to like not be on the hunt for kids' toys, whether it's on Amazon or TikTok. So I'm like, I'm just going to hit kids' toys really hard, like really cool, like learning toys. I think that is going to be like my focus. Advent calendars. I've been like collecting all these advent calendars because people love stuff like that. And even though it's seasonal stuff, I'm okay with the quick hits for the fall, like, in Q4, like I'm okay with quick hits. But I'm also really focusing intentionally on things for longevity. Things that people need, like not just like quick impulse buys, but like things that people actually will use every single day, so that after Q4, there's still sales that are going to trickle in from those products.
Right.
So I try to do a little bit of both, like the seasonal stuff, but also not things that are so much impulse, but things that can be used over and over and over again.
Sure. More of your evergreen style products. Good for the sale, but still good even after the sale.
Sure.
That makes sense. That's awesome. Are you going to go live during the Black Friday sales week?
Oh yeah, you'd be stupid not to.
Right.
You'd be stupid not to. Yeah. So I have no issue going live. I try to go live at least once a week. My schedule has been a little crazy, but like I used to go live all the time. Like in my best months, when I was hitting those $20,000 months, I was going live almost every day for at least an hour. Wow. So I was having really good sales with that. So I am definitely going to kind of navigate into lives a little more, mainly because TikTok has literally come out and said it. They have put on a golden platter for creators what they need from us and what they want from us. And 100%. They say, we are focusing on live streams this upcoming quarter. We really want our creators live. We really want that engagement, because at the end of the day, TikTok doesn't care what you're posting about. All they care about is, are you keeping people on our app?
Yep.
And if you're keeping people on our app and you're keeping people engaged and it's keeping traffic to you, we're going to push your traffic because you're keeping people on our platform.
Yep.
So if I can go live and I can create an engaging live and it's going to keep people there, I'm going to get rewarded for that. In turn, I'm going to make more money. So if you're not going live in Q4, buckle up, practice in the mirror, and get to it, because you're going to do yourself a disservice if you don't.
I agree. And TikTok actually has a practice mode for going live. You can do a test mode. So if you're uncomfortable with it, do the test mode for an hour or two. Get comfortable talking to yourself.
When I'm coaching, I tell people all the time, if you're uncomfortable behind the camera, record yourself. Watch it back. Record yourself again. Watch where you fall short, or eye movements that you don't like, or body language that you don't like. Re-watch all of that back, because you're only going to get better when you see yourself doing it.
Yep. I can't tell you how many times I rewatch my videos that I make to find an area where I want to improve on, or to find an area, oh shit, I need to cut that out and add something else in. But I rewatch my videos all the time. Even after I post them, I watch them to see where people are going to be interested in what I'm talking about. Because if I find an area where I know there's going to be some good engagement coming from it, I'm going to remake that video again with that same style or that same area where the engagement's going to be bred from.
I always try to see, actually, I learned it from Stucati. We were in a masterminds group one night and we were talking, and he said, I watch my analytics and I watch where the drop off is. And in that moment, I make note of where that drop off is. I redo the video and I change what I'm doing in that moment. So that way the engagement just kind of flows. And I was like, that is genius. Yeah. There have been so many times I'll go and watch my analytics and be like, it dropped off here. What did I do? What was my eye movement? What was there a pause? Did I say, and normally 10 times out of 10, I said, there was too long of a pause, or I like went off the rails in true Ashley fashion, like was talking about something that made no sense. So, and I can like redo it, and then it kind of just does and performs better the second time around.
Yeah, those dead pauses and those and all of those filler words will destroy a video. People's attention span is this big. That's why in the very beginning, the millennial pause is a thing, and it's a really, really bad thing for creators. If you're a millennial, or if you're somebody older who does not know that when you press record, that means it's recording, that you don't have to wait till you see 1 second pop up on the thing. Yeah. You need to start talking immediately, and then same throughout your video. If you're making a video and say it's on this, by the way, this is the what is this thing called? This is ferrofluid. It acts like venom. That right there is a complete killer on your video. You need to you lose everybody. You need to get rid of that.
Isn't there a study now that says it used to be you have 7 seconds to keep somebody's attention. Do you know now with TikTok? Now with TikTok, it's like 3.2 seconds.
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's less than one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's less than 1 second now.
I believe you.
It's
so you have to do everything you can in 1 second. Like, I will do crazy stuff. I've broken springs in my couch, doing cartwheels on my couch, trying to get people's attention. I have jumped in bushes in a dress. I've gotten my heels stuck in the dirt. Like, I have done some bonkers stuff to get people's attention. So I say nothing is off the table as long as you don't get a violation.
Yes, it's insane. I rolled over backwards off my couch the other day to grab people's attention, and it did 1,000 views. But it really is. It boils down to.
Was it worth it?
It was a cool video, and it's a good product. It's rollerblade wheels for my office chair. Now my chair doesn't stop rolling, cool. So it was cool. But you have to find a way.
I have rode a kid's dirt bike in my living room last week, and
that's amazing.
Sliding glass wall. So and
that's amazing. That's okay. It's worth it though. It's definitely worth it. How many views though? Was it less than 1,000?
I think we're sitting at like 2,300 right now.
Okay, so that's okay. That's okay. So. When you're doing this, to like hooks are extremely important. To capture people's attention, you have to have a visual hook, an audible hook, as well as text on screen. Having those 3 things are going to give you a way stronger chance at stopping people than anything else. Now, don't put text on screen if it doesn't call for it. For example, if you have something on that you're making a video for that requires the entirety of the screen to be visible, don't block off the screen. But if you've got something going and to make it all like worthwhile and you're able to fit a text on screen hook in there, do it, because the more opportunities you have at stopping somebody from scrolling, the better, because you need people to watch your video, and if you can't captivate them in the first couple of seconds, your video is going to flop.
Sure.
It is what it is, and it sucks, but it's just the nature of it.
Proof hooks that work over and over, like just that little flip. I mean, you're like the king of that. Like, you'll just do the boom and like that, or just just a little flip, like those little things are like, whoa, what was that? And it makes you stop. You don't even recognize that it's happening in your brain, but like when you're scrolling as a content creator or as an affiliate marketer, when you're scrolling, which videos, be mindful of what videos you're stopping at.
100%.
What stopped you? And then take what they just did and go make a video.
100%.
That's what I tell people.
Yep. And it's very true. And like Ashley was just saying, that flip that she's talking about is this flip right here. So boom, that flip right there is all it is. Yep. That, and then my face is right in the screen, and now I'm talking to you, and then when I try to keep my clips 3 to 5 seconds. So when I go to the next one, I flip out, and then I start the video and I flip right back in. So it's a seamless transition in between, but all it does is grab attention over and over and over again.
Not only that, but it's training. When you're doing kind of those visuals, you're training your audience and your viewers. You're training them on what to expect.
Right.
They know that when you do that flip, you're going to say something important. When you do the flip again, you're now going to talk about the next really good thing, and then the next thing. And so it keeps them engaged because now you have trained them to wait for the flip.
Yep, it's crazy. So. It's crazy to see that. And when you have thousands of other creators making the content in that same style, it really does, because you're a lot of the times you're not going to have the same people come back to your videos. Some people you might, some people you won't. But when you have many other creators, thousands of other creators. You're in the
social army, because they'll come and support you all the time.
Right, 100%. You'll have thousands of other creators doing the same style of content, which trains the For You page of the millions of other people who see these videos that, oh shit, that right there is a subtle flip, but it gets their attention because they're used to seeing it on other videos that have grabbed their attention in the past.
We're really out here acting like professors. Look at all of us go.
That's it. I love it though.
The underdogs of America are leading the way.
That's great. I love it. And I love being able to do this because, you know, content creation really is somewhat of an art sometimes. And for the ones that struggle with it, keep it very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't try to be.
It really is an art form.
Yeah.
It is a creative outlet for me because as a mom, like I really don't have a lot of time to go, you know, sing or like do dance classes or the crazy things that I want to do. But like I can make a 15-second video and that fills my soul enough where I'm like, not only am I getting paid for it, but like I really get to do this creative side to me. And I definitely try to like, who I am in real life is who you see on social media. I never want people to see, like I'm a little more theatrical, obviously, but I want people to really like know that that is me and that it's genuine. But it's also like such a release for me as a mom that's like working from home and trying to just do the damn thing. That like it's changed my life to be able to have both a creative outlet and a moneymaker all in one.
Yep. And you have ADHD, so it's definitely a dopamine release as well. I don't know. Maybe that person behind you. So it's definitely fuels that crave and that need. And I say need, not want, but that need like for that dopamine.
It's like a dopamine hit for me. Every time I post a video, it's like a dopamine hit.
That's it. And I think that helps too, because a lot of us who are hyper successful with this have really bad ADHD, and I think it's just the fact that it helps drive it, and it gives us. Oh my God, it's insane.
Chat of all of us coaches is wild. Like
it's insane.
If you are even like semi-normal, that chat would give you anxiety.
Oh, 1,000%. And a lot of us communicate with it's so funny, and we communicate in the wildest of ways, but in a lot of it's with gifts too. I love it. The fact that a lot of us just communicate.
I'm so glad that we're able to do that. Because back when we first started, remember we disabled gifts and only like you and I had the option.
Yep. It's crazy. I love it. So for those of you that might be new kind of watching this, I know this is kind of an off the wall style interview here, but this is what you get. You know, inside Social Army, we are everyday.
We're a family.
People. Yeah, we're normal people. You know, at the end of the day, we want you guys to feel as comfortable as possible with all of this. You know, we have struggles just like everybody else. We're not the best. You know, at the end of the day, some of us might be larger creators than others, but it wasn't always that way. It came with putting in the work. It came with putting in the time. It came with the struggles. It came with the constant worry. Is this going to work? Is this video going to pop off? Is this just a one-off? Am I going to be able to repeat the success? There's a lot of those that come through in every way. But we are all normal, everyday people, and we want you guys to be a part of that. And if you do decide that you want to join Social Army today, there's going to be a link down below this. It's going to be Ashley's link, so you'll be supporting her directly. But we want everybody to come in, whether you're, you know, young, older, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, you know, somebody who's just learning to get into content creation, somebody who just discovered TikTok Shop and want to learn how to do it. This is probably the best place for you to figure it out. Yes, we're a little bit of a larger group at this point in time, but we do so much to provide for you guys in the community by going live 17 times a week, by myself and multiple other creators, by hosting lives. Matter of fact, tonight or on a random Monday, granted, this won't apply to anybody watching this, but on a random Monday, I'm doing a live session with 3 of the brand owners that are collaborating with us on the inside. Snow, Dr. Squatch, and a few of the other companies that we have, just to showcase what we're doing to help Social Army members on their journey of content creation. So
I will say that this really started, like Social Army really started because somebody saw the value in it and was like, I want to help as many people as possible. That's why you started this. You were like, I can do it. And I've made it as an underdog, as a high school dropout, like, and I want to give back, and I want other people who are just like me or who feel just as lost as I do to freaking do this. And when I came in, that was the one thing that you preached. Like, you're like, I just want to help as many people as possible. Like, I get goosebumps when I talk about it because, like, it started with, like, when I joined, there was 250 people.
Yeah.
And now we're, like, this big, amazing family. And it's like, I can't imagine my life without you guys. Like, it's wild.
6 months ago. Wow. What month are we in? April. No, I'm sorry. March. So we started this in March 28th was the first day Social Army launched. We are now October 21st at the time of this recording. So we're approaching 7 months, almost 7 full months.
And I joined the beginning of April.
Right. So you joined just a week maybe into it. We are, 7 months, almost 7 full months. We are 7 full months. And we are, like a week maybe into it. Right. So you joined just a few, like a week maybe into it. We are, 7 full months. We are 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 over 3,000 members now, and we don't have a free section. I want that to speak volumes. I'm not saying this because, we're out here trying to make money off everybody. No, we're probably the cheapest community and course out of everybody out there. We undercharge for all of our services. However, we do it for a specific reason. I couldn't afford to get into the community that I wanted to get into in the beginning. I borrowed $11 to pay for 1 week of the course I wanted to get into, or the community I wanted to get into, to learn from the other individuals. So I know what it's like to not be able to afford it, but we have 3,000 members who pay for this service monthly. 3,000 people. Most people aren't going to pay for something they don't see value in. And we have an 80% retention rate. That means 80 out of 100 people who join stay. And they stay for good reason, because it's a community, because it's a community-ran community. Everyone in there is there to help each other. No one's in there to gatekeep. No one's in there to hurt your feelings. No one's in there to complain about you. No one's in there to go in there and bully you for asking questions that you might think that are dumb.
Either.
No, I will shut that shit down so fast.
Like, you see that, you're done.
Yeah, you're out.
Remember that one kid? Mm-hmm. I know you know who I'm talking about, too, because he was annoying.
There was a lot of them, in the beginning.
We cut that immediately. Like, you're not, we are really genuinely there. Like, the whole group is like, we're riding the elevator up together.
Yep.
Like, that's
the point of it. That's the point of it. You're not in this alone. And this industry in TikTok and TikTok Shop can be a very lonely road. And I see videos about it all the time on my For You page. People crying and people struggling because there is they feel as if there's no help. But there's a lot of it. You just got to find it in the right places. And I tell people all the time, if you want to join a community, find one where you fit in, whether it's with us at Social Army or it's with somebody else down the road. Find somewhere where you fit in and feel comfortable, because that's where you're going to learn and find the growth. You can't be the smartest person. Yeah. And you can't be the smartest person in the room.
Social Army has made or broke affiliate marketers. And I'm not saying that because I'm a part of it and because, like, I'm passionate about it, but, like, you can say that about any group. This could make or break your success on TikTok. Like,
1,000%.
Get with people who are doing what you do. If you hang out with dogs who have fleas, you're going to get fleas. Hang out with people who are where you want to be.
Yep. Don't be the smartest one in the room, because at the end of the day, there's no growth. You have to be in a place where you can find the growth. And that's here. We have creators who have done close to $20 million in total sales on the shop. Then we have creators who have done less than $1 in total sales. But at the end of the day, they're all treated the exact same way, because we're there to grow and help each other out. I like seeing the wins, whether it's big or small. I like seeing them because it's motivating.
The wins page is my favorite.
It is. It is.
Wait,
it's so good.
Was the win? No, I think I was like, can we have a daily positive page? And I think that was implemented because of me. We already had the wins one though, but I was like, can we have like a daily positive post?
And now I go in there and I do these motivational posts quite often, just to kind of keep people going. Because too, I like to show my downsides. Like, this is probably my worst month I think I've ever had on TikTok Shop. Like I said, I've done less than $3,000 this month so far, and we're on the 21st. But that doesn't mean
bad. That's like not a bad month at all for what we do. But like, when you're coming from like 100,000 month or like a $20,000 month, it's a gut.
That's rough.
Just like, wait a second.
It is. But I like showing that because it shows other people, like, hey, even the dude that made $100,000 in a single month still has very bad months.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean that the month is over, right? I still have 9 days left. The month where I popped off with Coldest Cup.
One video.
And I made $20,000 in just a couple of days. So, and it was at the very end of the month too. It was at the end of June.
I'm telling you, I'm manifesting a viral video for us.
Coming. It's coming. I got a bunch of keyboard videos made.
Today
it's
and
coming.
Tomorrow, it's happening. You watch.
It's coming. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, I just want everyone to know, like, if you're looking to join a place, consider us. Whether you do join us or not, consider us. Give it a shot. Join for just 1 month. If you don't like it, hey, that's okay. But if you do, I know a lot of people who have written us reviews. I joined for a month to see if I even liked it, and now 6 months later, I'm still here. So it happens. Yeah. Real quick, Ashley, before we jump off, because we are coming up on time, is there anything that we didn't discuss today, or anything that you would like to say to the viewers or the people listening, just to kind of as last words here before we jump off?
Last words. If you haven't started doing affiliate marketing and you're on the fence, do it. You're only hurting yourself by not doing it. You're hurting your children. You're hurting your husband. You're hurting yourself. Just do it. Try it. Do 3 videos. Hold yourself accountable for 3 videos. And if after 3 videos you're like, it's not for me, then you can walk away. But don't keep laying in bed going, I wish I would have tried it. I should have started sooner. Start right now, so that 6 months from now you can go, I tried it, I didn't like it, or I tried it and I just bought a brand new house.
Yep.
So 3 videos. Just do 3. Hold yourself accountable. Go find 3 products in your house. Don't even buy them. Find 3 products in your house that are on the TikTok Shop and just do 3 videos. That's it.
I want to add to that. I want to add to that because I think that's extremely important. Those 3 videos need to be not 3 videos that flop and you make your decision after that. Those 3 videos I think need to be, can you see yourself making more after these 3? Was that something you enjoyed doing? Because 3 videos will not make or break you as a creator in any way, shape, or form, but 3 videos of figuring out if this is something that you can even do and feel comfortable doing will make or break you as a creator. Sure. Because if you make those 3 videos and you just absolutely hate doing it, you're never going to find success in doing this. But if you make 3 videos and you love fucking doing it, don't stop. Make 90. And after 90 videos, if you still haven't made a single dollar, maybe it's time to go back to the drawing board and see what's working and what's not working. But outside of that, I agree with you 1,000%. Go out, give it a shot, make 3 different videos, 3 different styles. And if this is something that does not feel like a chore and you actually enjoy doing it, run with it because you may have found something that you're going to be very good at.
And then join Social Army so you can learn how to get better.
Yes. So if you guys do want to join Social Army, there will be a link down below this video. And it will be Ashley's link directly, so you'll be supporting her. And outside of that, any socials that Ashley's comfortable with us sharing, we will also link down below so you guys can go through and draw some inspiration and get an idea on how she creates her content as well. And for those of you that relate to Ashley with the chaotic, neutral, and everything of that nature, definitely go check out her videos because it will give you some inspiration to see that, hey, that her nature, her chaotic nature is what makes her so successful at this. And it works really, really well. And her personality is very outgoing. And a lot of you out there who can relate to that, Ashley's going to be the one that you need to learn from because she's really good at what she does. You're welcome.
My whole life I've been told I'm too much, and then I get on TikTok and everybody's like, "This is who you are."
Yep, and it's what makes you, it's what makes you as successful as you are with it because your personality sells. So it's perfect. Awesome. Well, hey, this concludes another episode of the Social Army Podcast. Ashley, I appreciate you for being here today. Thank you so much for taking the time, of course. Yeah. And we will see y'all on the next one. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you.